Hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to Psychic Talk with Priscilla Gendron. And a warm welcome. Well, mind you, not too warm where we are, considering it's South Africa. A little bit cold and blistery. We're in our winter, sort of like rainy season. But I'd just love to welcome everybody here today. I see people are jumping on already, so welcome. Please leave any questions that you want in the chat box or say hello and tell us where you're from, and it would be great to hear from you. So, joining us tonight is a very special lady by the name of Sara Jane, and I'm going to leave all the introductions up to her because she's got a wonderful story to tell about how she took this journey to discover everything there is to know about mythical beings. So, I'd love to welcome Sara Jane. Sara, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Priscilla. It's a pleasure to be here. And hello, folks. Okay. I won't go into my whole story because that goes way back to when I was a baby. But my healing journey, and one of the things I did was learn Reiki. And as a Reiki practitioner, you are a channel for the energy. And then I discovered sound in the form of toning and realized that actually the sound I worked with, I was channeling that sound. And then it went a step further. I was doing some workshops and bits and pieces, and I was wondering why potentially a mythical being, a dragon or a unicorn or a mermaid, would appear to you. The way that animals there's a meaning for an animal appearing to you in a meditation or in a dream or suddenly appearing across your path. And I tried looking it up. Oh, what if any of these beings appeared to you in meditation or whatever? And there was nothing, absolutely nothing I could find. And one day I was thinking about this while I was driving along, and I don't hear voices, I don't see things, but the words in my head were, "You're doing it." And it was right, okay, thanks. And I then found myself having to sit with pen and paper, and this was going back to late 2009, early 2010. So it's been going on for over 10 years now. Sitting with pen and paper, I bought a couple of books about myths and legends and would read a little bit of information about one of them, and suddenly a word within that information would spark a message. And I think at the time I probably did around about 57 of them. But one of the main things they said to me was, please don't share our myth and legend. So many of them have been distorted. And it was fine, fair enough. But then it came to the dragons. And the dragons said to me, they'd mentioned that they've actually given us all our own guardian dragon. That every single one of us has our own guardian dragon. And they said, there is an aspect of our myth and legend that is true. We do guard over a treasure. You are your dragon's treasure.
Wow.
And that was just so beautiful.
It is a beautiful emotion to feel because it kind of feels like it's so important for us to know.
Oh yes, and how special we are considered to be. And so that was, if you like, from dragons as the whole, same as it was the angels and the mermaids, except unicorns, Pegasus, and so many, but also werewolf and vampire, because they're actually all friends. They're, as they said, there are aspects of our myth and legend that have been distorted. And so that was how that all started. And once I channeled messages from, I think it was 57, I realized I was connecting deeper with dragons, and the dragons that guard over the earth's crystals. And it was just like, okay. And I then started receiving messages from them. including the dragons' names. And it was just like, okay, wonderful. And I was usually out for a walk, so out in nature when their names came to me. So I had to get home and remember which dragon was which crystal. And as their names aren't English names, as we would think of them, they're not names like yours and mine. And the very first name that came to me was Dendra. And Dendra is the dragon that guards over amber, which isn't technically a crystal. And when I did the load of information that they've given me includes enough information to be able to create a crystal birth chart. So I was born in April, and they turn around and say, "Oh, your birth crystal's diamond." Yeah, never felt anything towards diamond at all. But when I did my own chart, it came out with the main energy crystal being amber.
Oh.
And it was just like, and Dendra had been the first one to give me her name. So it was lovely. So I feel the energies of her around me. And actually, I have got a very tiny little piece of amber on my chain, along with a Mayan singing bowl. And so the sound and the dragons are very much with me all the time.
Yeah. So
And
a quick question.
Yeah.
You know, when you first started to what I would call like channel the dragons, you know, for me, I'm a psychic medium and I channel spirit. And so I get sort of thoughts, feelings, emotions, or changes within myself. So how did it feel for you when you started to channel the energies?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
I am one of these people. Oh, don't get me wrong. I feel so blessed to be a channel. I really, really do. But I don't see things. I don't hear things. I just get a sense of knowing. You know, and that very rare occasion, it was like that time when it was just like in my head, "You're doing it." It's just like, really? How? Thank you. So I sit with the pen and paper, and it is being quiet. These days, I actually I can't type the message straight in. It's not a matter of channeling it and typing it at the same time. But I can record it as a video. So I actually do the messages that come through on a monthly basis from a mythical being, from the Crystal's Dragons. Those messages are direct channeling. I record it as I get it. I then transcribe it. Before I was having to handwrite it, type it, and then if I decided I was going to record it, so it was a braille. But that's fine.
How many do you sort of channel at the moment? Because it could be like infinitum, you know.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. You know, at the moment, the mythical beings on a monthly basis, they're usually saying it's one of my existing ones. But every now and again, we'll go into a space where it's okay, fine. Get your books out, flip the pages, and it'll be a new being. And I just trust the energies. And I very much use my dowsing pendulum, and it's just to make sure I'm right.
I'm not just.
I have to trust.
The clock of it.
It's the same with the Crystal's Dragons. Every now and again, another crystal will crop up. Maybe if I hear something somewhere. There's an amazing shark, and I'm just trying to think, Kukumi or something that they did. I saw, and I looked it up, and that's a mythical being that this shark's been given the name of, and so it was channeling a message from them, and it's just being open to what crops up, and sometimes that is suddenly a new crystal, and I think, where did that come from? And it's just like, okay, fine, it gets mentioned, and I see, okay, fine. Do I need to sit down with this one? Yes, I do. Okay, fine. I'll just trust that process. And as much as I do work eyes closed, that is very much, I think, a matter for me of making sure I can't get distracted by anything. the lack of distraction for me is very important, because our minds are very good at trying to get involved anyway.
Yes, definitely. But also, in the everyday world, everything is distracting you, whether it's the phone or the noise or cars outside or things like that. So it is important, if you want to get the purity and the crystal clear message, it's important to have the stillness around you.
Yes. And in this particular room, which is where I sort of tend to do most of the recordings and everything, I have got so many angels hanging. I have got some dragons. I've got so many ornaments of wildlife.
Wow.
Sort of, and it's very definitely pictures, and actually a whole load of cuddly toys. But I've adopted all the animals for WWF, so for their adoption, to sort of
Yes.
protect them, because I'm very into nature, and many of the messages are about sort of us taking care of ourselves, but it's also about our care of our planet. And accepting that the fact that, yes, they wish us to take care of this planet.
How long have you sort of been channeling mythic beings?
Well, as I said, I think that sort of message in the car was sort of very late 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So a while.
Wow, now. So you're
Yes.
well versed.
Oh,
You're well versed in mythic talk.
I just okay, fine, let's just go with this, So, and I've just trusted the fact that, if you like, I'm one big channel.
Yeah. So tonight we are going to be having a very special guest that you're going to be channeling for us. And he is a very wise and old dragon called Grandfather Dragon. And you told me I had to emphasize the wise and very old. And
No, other way around.
oh,
Very
sorry,
wise and old.
old and very. Sorry, I knew I'd messed that up somewhere.
Yeah. Oh no, I sort of, when I sort of realised the connection a couple of years or so ago, somebody said, "Oh, can we sort of have an interview with dragons?" And it was just like, "Well, we can try it," sort of. And that was the first, and this is actually only the second time. So although I get the feeling he's open to this, but I had no idea it was Grandfather Dragon at the time.
Ah, okay.
And it was only after the interview that, for once, we humans need names. In some respects, I think it helps us to have a name so that we can differentiate between. Whereas obviously, if we were totally tuned into energies, we wouldn't need names.
Yes.
But okay, it was given as Grandfather Dragon, and I realised that he'd actually been with me for quite some time, because I realised he was actually a huge black dragon, and I actually adore black. I love wearing black, but I do like wearing colour, and colour is really important.
Yes.
And I remember giving a talk at Messenger Summit in early 2012 and getting a sense of a big black dragon behind me on the stage. And I was talking about the sound energy at the time. But none of that really, it registered, but it didn't. And it was just like, oh, wow, he's been with me for quite a while. And then it was just getting a sense, not so long ago, only a few months ago, I was thinking about, okay, I know I've got Phoebe, who is my guardian dragon.
Yes.
But I was thinking, well, hang on, with angels, we have angels that are our guardians for this lifetime, and we have angels that are guardians for every lifetime. And it's dawned on me, actually, those angels are the guardian of our soul. That is why it is every lifetime. And then I realised that, so why don't we have the guardian dragons the same? And I realised, and Grandfather Dragon is that dragon for me. The guardian with my soul. And I don't think it's of my soul, because I get the feeling that, for want of a better way of putting it, we've grown up together.
Yes. He's been around for a long time.
Oh, yes. And we have to trust many, many, many of us. Our souls have seen many lifetimes. They really have. We are, this life isn't the only life.
Yeah, definitely. And so how old do you think he is? If you're allowed to permit to ask his age.
Well, I think there you've got to realize that time doesn't exist for our souls.
Mm.
But I know I've had lifetimes on this planet for at least 2,000 years.
Wow.
So that therefore makes us older than that.
Definitely.
Or soul. But that's putting it in human terms.
Yes.
And obviously that's me asking the question, answering the question. Not sure quite how he'd answer it.
I think we would get the cold shoulder.
Well, I get
I'd
the
never
feeling.
ask a dragon an age.
Well, I think it's why it's old and very wise,
Yes.
because it's what? Yes, you think of the 2000 and you think that's very old, but not when you think that. How many thousands of years can you take our planet back? Apparently,
Yes.
So yeah, we could be mere babes in comparison to some.
Definitely. So, how do you think that he interacts or influences the world around us, if he can?
I think what you've got to realize is that dragon energy, all the energies of the mythical beings, are very much along the lines of the angels. So all the guides and guardians that we have, for me, we have made choices in this for this lifetime. We make choices for every lifetime.
Yeah.
And those choices are the experiences that we have. Those experiences can't be taken away from us. Our guides and guardians, if we ask, can support us through them.
Mm.
But they can't take them away from us. They are our experiences to have.
Yeah.
And so, to me, it's an influence of support. It's not a changing things. They with the angels, they say, if you're not meant to be involved in an accident, you ask for help and miraculous things can happen.
Yes.
If you're not meant to die, you don't.
Yeah.
And that is the only time, if you're involved in something that isn't part of your journey and potentially your chosen death,
Yeah.
so you're actually, I love the way Neil Donald Walsh puts it. It's your continuation day.
The
So
continuation
you're
day.
back to your soul. And I love that. I really do love that. Obviously, if there's something happening that there's no way should be happening to you, then it's amazing the miracles that can happen. And yes, that is when they can come in and interact, interject, influence what happens. But otherwise, no, we are here to have experiences that nobody can affect.
And then also, we, as you say, like with our guardian angels, we all have our own dragons. So how do we maybe connect? Just briefly explain to us maybe how we could connect to discovering our own dragon energy.
Oh, I have shared a couple of meditations to connect with your guardian dragon. And the very first one of those I did, I know you're going to be sharing a website at the end, and you can go onto the website and you will find that meditation on the website. And the last time I looked, I think about 15,000 other people have done that meditation. And many people have left me messages. Providing I know the messages are there, I go and answer them. And I've even had people say, "Oh, you answered." Nobody ever answers. So I do, yes. If people have got a question, if I can support, I do. Not
Yes.
everybody connects first time. I think the one thing I would say is if you do the meditation, if you are struggling to be aware of your dragon, it
Yes.
might be that your dragon is concerned about frightening you because they are amazing beings. Their energy is beautiful. But if you're potentially somebody who's very much grown up with, as we have in the UK, about St. George and the Dragon and slaying the dragons, etc.,
Yes.
etc., the evilness of them, then obviously it's going to be, they're not going to want to frighten you.
Yeah.
So their energies, you may feel their energies, but they may not necessarily appear immediately. It's about building up the trust and them feeling confident that you're going to be okay with. You are going to be okay with them.
Yes.
But they don't want to frighten you.
Yeah, because we have always been given a different view. It's been the Hollywood blockbusters have always portrayed dragons in a very, you know, scary, empowering way, and it's all fire and brimstone and things like that. And dragon energy is not always like that.
Oh, no, the energy I work with is beautiful energy, and it is loving and caring energy. As I said to you when we talked about doing this, Grandfather Dragon can be very blunt. So please accept that, folks. I know I can be, although I do try to calm that down a bit. Grandfather
Yeah.
Dragon says it as he sees it.
Yeah. And Suki has joined us, and she said she's been seeing dragons all week.
Oh, lovely. I would love to see them. I really wish I could, but I have the feeling that if I could see the dragons and the angels and everything, I might have an absolute room full here at the moment.
And she says, can you have more than one dragon?
Oh,
Yes.
I couldn't. Yeah, as I said before, I got this sense that we have a
Yes.
dragon for this lifetime, and we have a dragon that's a dragon of our soul. So for every lifetime. And I think, as with the angels, I think you will have dragons that come in and out of your life, depending on what's going on in your life.
Yes.
So I really do feel that, because the fact that I connect with so many with the crystals, it isn't all about one dragon. And actually, I've got other dragons' names as well that I've connected with. So yes.
Right. And so, right, I had a question from Owen, and he says, I was born with the year of the Chinese wood dragon. How can I enhance this and tap into the connection more to utilize the dragon's qualities?
Trust yourself. Seriously. Just trust yourself and invite the dragons to you. And maybe doing the meditation to connect with your own guardian dragon will be a good place to start. Bringing you in touch with the dragon energies. So that would be my answer.
Yeah.
We have to trust ourselves.
Yes.
We really do. We are amazing beings. And we have abilities way beyond what is ever encouraged of us.
Yes.
And so the encouragement there is to trust. It really is.
That's important.
Trust. Yeah, very important.
So we're going to ask Grandfather Dragon to have an interview with us and to maybe, answer some questions from the audience. So if anybody wants to put questions in the chat box, please feel free to do that. And we'll ask Grandfather Dragon very nicely to, give us his view on things. So we have Roxanne says, I'm interested to know any insight that Grandfather Dragon has on the current upgrades coming in and or an imminent event that shifts humanity to the 5D.
Learn to love and believe in yourself. The energies are there to support what is already inside of you. As Sarah has just said, you are all amazing beings. Have faith and belief in yourself. These energies are here to support you to have the strength and the courage to step into your true being and support others to do the same. Many of you are guides here to support the majority. Your courage to show your true colors gives them the courage to do the same. Trust and believe in yourself.
Thank you. That's quite appropriate in today's world. And there is a time I felt I connected with the dragons, but now that is gone. So I presume that they want to know, have they lost the connection?
You never lose the connection. The connection for all is on a soul level. This connection comes on a mind level only. Your heart, your soul, your connection to source and all that there is can never be taken from you. Open your mind to the dragon. They are still there for you.
Thank you. Right. Siki would like to ask Grandfather Dragon about how to work more closely with the dragon energy.
Get out of your mind and into your heart. Simple. The dragons are always there for you. Trust in it. Trust in the energy. And we are there. Ask us.
Yeah, I think that's very important to be able to just get out of our minds because we try to control it too much. And we just need to allow it to just flow through us and flow the energy to flow through us. That's like with anything we do, whether it be dragon energy or angel energy or even spirit energy. It's to allow it to just flow through the heart. That's so important. Okay. Hello from Shima. Hi, Grandfather Dragon. Are there any gifts or talents I have not tapped into yet or need to give more attention to? Thank you.
You know your gift. It is time for you to trust your gift. And as you allow them to grow, they will expand. Again, get out of your mind and into your heart. It is time for all of you to change the role of your mind. Its role when you were born was as a protector. You are no longer a child, yet your mind still treats you as one. It is time your mind worked with your heart, supporting your heart choices. Yes, there is still an element of protection, but only insofar as supporting you to achieve your heart choices. Love your mind. Be grateful to it and encourage it to believe in you. Love yourself. Be true to your heart, and you will achieve more than your mind can perceive.
Right. Have I followed the correct spiritual path? And that's from Kela Boga.
Does it feel right to you? Go into the feeling. Listen to your heart. It is always about listening to the feelings into your heart. If the energies of the path you have chosen feel wrong to you, then it is time to take a step off that path and investigate others. If it feels so right to you, regardless of what others around you may say, then trust it is the right path for you. I've been given permission to add into here. I was raised a Catholic, and I have very much moved away from organized religions. I don't see how I can have a belief in dragons and so many other mythical beings and still feel that same way about going into a church. My church is nature. I believe in Mother Mary, in Jesus, in our Creator, in the angels. I'm not saying I no longer believe in them, but my belief almost has a greater depth than that within religion. So if your spiritual path feels really right for you, as mine does for me, whatever that may be, then go with it. If it is part of a religion and that feels right for you, I honour that within you. But if there is something you are a part of, that there's aspects that feel wrong, then maybe it is time to step away from it. And that's coming from my heart, because I have very much moved away from my upbringing, as I believe very many people have and are. It doesn't matter what other people say. That's their stuff. Be true to you.
Yeah, it's very true, because you don't have to step into a building in order to believe and have, your belief or your spirituality. It can be anywhere, and as you say, it's in nature. And what better temple is that?
Yeah.
So it's very, very important. So our next question is, hello, please may I ask if the area-wide power cuts are a regular occurrence when working with dragons on earth clearing and healing?
I apologise, although I don't apologise for Grandfather Dragon. Your earthly things have nothing to do with the energies we bring, or your other guides and guardians bring. You are going through different changes in your planet, in your lives. Maybe they are just aspects of control. Be open to being true to you, but be open to asking the question, why is this happening in your so-called day and age of technology? Trust the energy of working with dragons, angels, your own soul. Those energies do not need power. And I am going to ask Sarah to share again here, and she knows why. There are many different energies of healing that we work with. And quite a few years ago, when I first started working with toning and the sound energy, I was doing some little online things when people were joining me from different parts of the world. And my microphone packed up. I was working with sound, and my mic packed up. And so I typed in a message and I said, I'm here, you're here. And I had the feeling that it was going to be doing a balance of the chakras or something like that. I will be working with sound and tones for that. And I said, I'm here, you're here, are you game? They could see me, they just couldn't hear me. I will do this and just see whether anybody gets anything. And they all said they were game. Everybody stayed on. They could see, if they wished to open their eyes, that I was appearing to do something, because obviously they couldn't hear the sound that was coming out of my voice. At the end of it, they all commented they felt it. To me, that was a gift I was given that day. The energy that is brought via the sound and the toning is not about what you hear, it is about what you feel. So the energies you work with are more about feelings than hear. And if you don't feel anything, it doesn't matter. You will always take what is for the highest good for you. So that was a gift I was given many years ago. We don't have to rely on man-made energies.
Yeah, very true. Siti would like to know, how can you move forward with our spiritual path without blocks?
You talk about stepping outside the box, of opening doors. They don't exist. Sometimes what appears to be a block may be challenging you. Accept the challenge. It may be diverting you. It may not exist at all. It may be all in your mind. You have a saying that many of you use, easier said than done. Is it really easier said than done? If you believe in yourself and in your abilities, it is as easy done as said. Have you ever put things off, thinking, oh, they're too difficult, they're too hard? And when you've had to get round to them, they've been easier than you thought. Stop making excuses. The blocks are mind-made, unless you are being deliberately diverted or challenged to make sure that you truly wish to follow that path with all your heart. We do love you, humans, but oh boy, you do get in your own way.
That was powerful, that. Oh, thank you so much. It's happened twice in the past, and it's a great comfort to know. That was from our previous person. And Suki would like to know, how can we use the dragon energy to help others as well?
You are not here to help others. You are here to support others, to help themselves. Our energy isn't about doing, it's about being. The more you do for others, the less they do for themselves. and the less you can do for yourself. Absolutely ask our support for yourself and for others. Don't forget yourself, and do ask for others, but always hold the intention that it is for them to accept or reject as they choose, with all energy. You can offer it. It is not for you to give it. Know the difference between offering and giving. Giving suggests you are trying to control another. Offering gives them a choice.
That's very true. We have to empower others to empower themselves, and if we just do it for them, then they don't learn anything from it. Very true. The grandfather dragon, do you see a beloved partner in my path? Or am I just meant to work this life without a consort? And that's from Shima.
You have to be the love of your own life. You cannot bring that energy from others truly and faithfully until you have it for yourself. Learn to love yourself, the whole of you. And maybe you are not meant to have a life partner this lifetime. But as you grow in love for yourself and are comfortable, truly comfortable with who you are, your energy will speak to the right people. You have to love yourself unconditionally first.
Yeah, that's very true. If we don't love ourselves first, we can't expect anybody else to love us, even for a little bit. Suki says, thank you, Grandfather Dragon, for your wonderful wisdom. And she says, I am the queen of procrastination.
I get that. I know.
Yeah. I just thank you for the clarification. To stop procrastinating. Yeah. So, I just want you to know, is there any sort of, as we're going now, we're coming to the end of a very intense, almost, 18 months plus, where the world has been turned upside down and energies have been all over the place. And going into 2022, what sort of energy does Grandfather Dragon want to bestow on us, or words of wisdom that he would like to bestow on us going forward, so that we can all carry it in our hearts going forward?
Trust the changes. Many are doubting the truth of what is going on. Many are feeling they have been lied to. and many are opening to a new way of being. Start to ask questions. Don't just believe everything you are told. There are those out there doing the research. Do some of your own. It is okay to doubt your authorities. They believe they rule you. In fact, you are their employer. You are the ones in the majority of cases that put them there. Maybe they are also being lied to. Money is not the be-all and end-all. Unfortunately, money supposedly brings power. Peacefully, the people can unite. Peace will bring peace. It is not about a revolution of war and fighting. It is about a revolution of love and caring and believing in yourself, learning to love yourself and accepting the fact that it is okay to love yourself. Why? Because you are love. Source is love. Your soul was born of love. You are your soul. You were born of love, and you are love, and you will learn to love. Love is the answer. Do your best to let go of fear. Fear is what is used to control you. Let go of fear. Let go of anger. And always send out energies of love. And love will bring about peace.
Thank you very much for Grandfather Dragon. Those were powerful words for us all to sort of take and put within our hearts and allow them to manifest into being. We've got one final question for the night, and it's my life, like the world, is upside down. How do I not lose hope? And I think that goes for everybody because we all are going through that, where we are at the moment, and it leads on from what you've just said. We all have lost hope and we're all struggling. So how do we go forward?
I think to a certain degree, and I'm getting this sense, Grandfather Dragon has just answered that with the previous question.
Definitely.
It really is. And I'm just getting the sense from him that he's not going to repeat himself.
No. You didn't hear it the first time.
In some respects, he's repeated himself already several times.
Yes.
And I'm just getting the sense that we have got to let go of fear.
Yes.
It's holding on to hope is letting go of fear. But
Very
it's the
much.
loving of yourself, it's the trusting of yourself. You know, it's, are we going to be affected by some of the things? Yes, some of us are going to be affected by some of what's going on. Yes, we are. And from some of what was said earlier, it's part of the choices we have made. We can't we can't have that taken away from us.
Mm.
You know, there are going to be those people who have not liked what has been said tonight.
Yeah.
They really aren't. That's fine. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Step away from it. If there's anything going on in your life that doesn't resonate, do your best. What is it they say? If you can't change it, change your thinking about it.
Mm. True.
There are
Very
many,
true.
many sayings, and on a daily basis on social media, I see many quotes. And there are some really beautiful quotes out there. And if they help keep my energy high, find what keeps your energy high. If you've learned something like Reiki, you can use it on yourself. Do you? Do you open the channel for yourself on a daily basis?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, because we tend to do all these things. We learn how to do Reiki and healing and all these things, and we do it on everybody else, but we don't open it and use it on ourselves.
Yeah. And it, you know, it's something I teach. And that's the one thing I say to all my students is, even if you can't have a session in the day, open a channel for yourself at night as you go to sleep.
Mm.
Open it for your food. There is no limitation as to what you can offer the energy of Reiki to. Your home, your car, your garden, your plants, your pets, your technical equipment. There is
Yeah.
no limitation. Don't limit yourself. Get rid of the boxes. And know that regardless of what you've been taught and told about you, trust you.
Yes. That's important.
Connect with every aspect of you that you have disconnected with. Because there is no need. You were born perfect.
Mm.
Never ever doubt that. If you were born with a limp or with blind or whatever, it doesn't matter. You were born perfect for this lifetime. Trust in that perfection. And if anybody says there's no such thing as perfection, just look at yourself in the mirror. You are perfect. There is such a thing as perfection, and it is you. Some of the stuff going on around us may not feel like perfection, but it is. Everything is in divine and perfect order right now.
Very true. Very true. Oh, Sarah, we could talk with Grandfather Dragon all night. And I do have a saying, I talk for Africa, so no pun intended there. But as we're wrapping up, I'd just like to say thank you very much to Sarah for giving us this beautiful honor of allowing us to interview Grandfather Dragon and allowing him to bestow his wisdom and truth on us. And if anybody would like to contact Sarah or have a session with her, you can email her on sarahsoundspirit@gmail.com, or you can go to her website, www.ourmagicalfriends.com. And that is a very good way for you to connect with her and develop your own and delve into your own mythical beings. And who knows what you might find. And so I would like to just say thank you very much. And I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us tonight and for all the wonderful and amazing questions, because there's been some really amazing questions. And we look forward to seeing everybody same time, same place next week. So if you'd like to click like and subscribe to the channel to get reminders of the upcoming talks we have. Next week, we'll be talking to the amazing Suki Claire, and she'll be channeling the galactic light working being called Amber. So we look forward to having her on board. So I'd like to say thank you very much to Sarah, and especially a huge thank you and blessing to Grandfather Dragon.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and an honour to serve and share here.
Thank you, everybody, and have a good evening. Good night.